The effect of loneliness and the power of your song. As an only child with a single mother, I spent most of my childhood alone. We left all of our family back in Colombia, so we were pretty much all we had. I can see how this plays a big role in my life because until this day, I have to remind myself to let myself receive love from others. I got so used to doing and figuring things out on my own that it is literally unfamiliar to depend on someone else for anything. I am speaking emotionally, physically, economically, pretty much in every way. I ended up like this for being a product of the environment, but because of this, I was led into a world where I noticed the pressure we casually put onto others when we depend on them emotionally. Not to say receiving love or help is a bad thing. I just think we got very used to using people to fill up our own empty spaces. It is almost accepted as a normality. Many refer to this as taking advantage of others, which for me comes with way too many negative connotations. I think everyone shares the same collective suffering, and loneliness brings that to the surface. We are afraid to be alone because we start to talk to ourselves, and most cannot handle that conversation. Some others do not even know what being alone is because they have been surrounded by people all of their lives. It is like having your own song on low volume to let other sounds in. Your music has been low all your life, so you don't even know what your song really sounds like. All you hear is noise because truth is, unless people around you are focused on their own self-growth, you're most likely just being entertained by their sound. If the sound isn't uplifting you, you gotta uplift the sound with your song. We improve this universal music by learning how to deal with loneliness, by learning how to be alone, by getting to know the song of our own music. After long years of being a hopeless romantic, I arrived at my first relationship. Once there, I unconsciously decided to lower my song in order to hear the song of the person I loved. His song was intense and overpowering. I let it take over. I surrendered to his music and completely forgot about the power of my own. He has no idea about being an instrument of creation. And to this day, he still can't hear the strength of his own melody. And this is because he comes from a world where his own music is on mute. If you do not get to know your own song, you will not know the magnitude of your strength. You will not see it in others, and you will not realize the sound of the universal music. After moving on from my relationship, I started to realize the repercussions of lowering my song. The overwhelming feeling of loneliness can be restless and chaotic. I am still working on collapsing the habit of attachment. But during moments when I am feeling the lowest, I realize that I am getting familiar with my own song all over again. I have to be okay with my thoughts, ever flowing in a lucid symphony. This is my song, and I won't settle for not knowing what I am creating, and refuse to use somebody else's song to distract me from my own again. Each song is too valuable to the wholeness of the beat. This music isn't to fill empty spaces, it is to be heard and corresponded. Empty spaces are created when we shut down our own music and forget we even have a beat. When we consciously create together, we manifest beautiful music that inspires the stars to dance from the irresistible rhythm of our hearts in tune. The deep feeling of loneliness can be one of the toughest circumstances to fall a victim to. Just like how we can also play our song too loud and forget about the universal music. We have to be present for both our own song and the song of the collective. There's a balance in this masterpiece. We must learn how to be alone in order to listen to ourselves and improve our melody. And we must also learn how to play beautiful music with others. To do one, you need the other. To be consciously part of everything is to know what we are creating. Otherwise, we'll drown in the noise and wonder where it's coming from. This music is food for soul. We have to realize where we stand as creative instruments of the beautiful music of the universe.